It's October 17th, 2021, and this is my new sun day.
I made up my mind. I'm tearing down those signs. Blindly I followed them away from you. The colors on the canvas here, they don't do you justice, dear. I guess black and white, it just seemed easier. They summed you all up in words, made it hard to find you on earth. But love always finds, love always finds a heart that's willing to shine. There's no better time.
There's so much happening. This is an incredible time with enormous, you can just feel all the potential sitting right here, right now. And that's potential that is of the highest order, the highest degree that can be activated within us versus the potential to, completely crash and fall and burn as a collective. And what we're doing to the planet, our disregard for other life forms, the potential there to destroy and to continue to destroy to nothingness. So that's where we sit right now, and it's reached us individually and will continue to increase in a fever pitch, and where we each have these conundrums or challenges in our individual lives and, shared lives, family members, maybe even communities, but the common denominator will be individual consciousness and how we choose to meet that within ourselves. And it reminds me of the messages over the years from the field. How it would happen, what would happen with our consciousness, that the phrase they used most often, or that I translated from the energetics frequency in the field, is you're all going to meet your maker in these times. And they were not speaking about the colloquialism of meet your maker. Yeah, sure, we're all going to die kind of thing. But they were referring to, that coming to a wall. We're here at the wall of, okay, now what? We can't go any further. It appears that way. That's the paradox, the conundrum. And for those who have had the kinds of lives where they had contact experiences or near death, the bioenergetic Kundalini Coyopa events, anything that took them beyond the wall in consciousness, they would understand more what this means. You're all going to meet your maker. So if we're not able to meet our maker in our consciousness, then perhaps quite a few of us will pass by leaving our physical bodies. But the messages were saying that you do not have to leave your body to meet your maker. That was their whole point. And over time, no evidence of any of this coming. It's become very clear to me and to those whom I've shared these messages with over the years that it's been accurate, and that this is going to be a meeting of our Maker in our consciousness, and we get to choose whether we run from that force within ourselves, this increasing light that many are speaking about the photon, the incoming photon light emissions from the galaxy, from Alcyone, the star, the great sun, the mother sun in the Pleiades. All of these angles that people are looking at it from. And we can point to things that other people have said in the past. We can point to current science, all of these little pieces of evidence that we try to weave together to make sense. But what this presence is saying now for those who can hear it and translate it is that this is never going to make sense with just weaving these scraps of things together. It can only make sense when you activate that mother, feminine part of our consciousness, which is also represented in our anatomy, our physicality, our brain, our other system, the endocrine system, not just the neurological system. And all of this comes together within the individual consciousness. So you don't have to understand science. You don't have to understand, quantum physics. You don't have to understand religion. You simply need to show up and meet this within yourself, within your own consciousness, because that's the opportunity that is here for each and every one of us. And this has no framing. None of what I share is framed here in our reality. So you can say that it sounds like I'm religious. You could say that it sounds like I'm reaching to try and sound scientific. I am definitely not. I know nothing of these things. I have been kept quite naive over my lifetime. It was all I could do to continue to show up day after day after these meetings in consciousness with these others. And the contact was not out there in the world. The contact was within me. It was within my consciousness. It was within dreams. It was with out-of-body type experiences. And then the Kundalini Coyopa events. Coyopa is the Mayan term for this bioenergetic event that occurs. I even took 5-MeO-DMT, and that's a good marker for me to see the difference between activating that oneness connection with this substance versus a natural occurrence. I didn't set out to do that. It's just what synchronistically occurred in my life. So while everyone else around me was living their lives and, enjoying successes and failures and, prosperity and poverty, sickness, health, all of these things that, of course, I was experiencing as well. On top of it, I was experiencing on a very regular basis these interactions with something that wanted me to get at the root of consciousness within me. And because it didn't fit in any way or frame that existed, I found myself invisible to the world and everyone around me. And one time when I was practicing this practice that they showed me that helps you connect to yourself and to the field, when I was practicing that, I was, kind of raging and getting out what I felt from deep within me, and just the pain of being invisible, the pain of being different, and not knowing how to be here, and wanting to commit suicide, and so forth. But I share my journey, only parts of it, in my book, Coyopa, Contact Within. But once I would get to the space where I had shared my honesty out loud and with passion, there'd be a space where it would just boom, like zoom into connection. And it was on all levels. It was in my physical body. It was in my, I could feel the bliss of it, the feelings, my heart just radiating and warming, and I could feel it in my head, and it was like a big circle around me, poof, and I knew I was connected to this. And on several of these occasions, when I was really clearly getting to the root of my pain about not knowing how to be here in this construct of models and frames that are just simply wrong and outdated, or not interested in truth, but rather to perpetuate this machine that we're all living in and serving. So it would be quiet when I would make that connection, and then I'd feel a voice that said, "Now you know how I feel." And I knew it to be the mother, and that voice just radiated all through me. And it was so powerful, so glorious, so loving. And then she's been teaching me, because I unearthed her within me. And she has a voice now within me. I listen to her. And I share it the best I can. But because it's invisible, because she's invisible here, it's just not seen, or it's not popular. People don't realize how manipulated they are with this social media stuff and the followers and the likes and all of that. It's like the mother is saying, that's, if you're looking to connect with people who are popular, or your goal is to be popular in consensus reality, that's the hook, that's the net that comes in and swoops you up and keeps you in this looping reality, serving the master, the machine, instead of the master within you, instead of first father and first mother, instead of accessing your original design. If you want to get angry about anything, get angry about that. Because that anger that I expressed not at other people, but to my Creator. I expressed my rage for years. And this is what opened me up. This is what generated the Kundalini Coyopa event that opened my brain, that opened my whole being. My whole body perceives now. And I see and know things that are not translatable here to the linear mind. And so when you try, it just sounds like rubbish, or it just sounds like, irrelevant to the goal to find a successful space in this old past reality or sun, the past cycle. If we're still offering our energy and engaging with the old sun or some remodeled version of it, then we will stay with the old machinations. But make no mistake, that will be remodeled for you. And the trajectory that I have been shown for those who choose to stay with the remodeling of the old sun, that looks like transhuman technology and artificial intelligence. You don't have any value as a human being in your form anymore to those who have captured you all of these centuries, all of these thousands of years. You can transcend this now. This is the timing for it. This is the intersection for it. And this is what the Maya and the indigenous ancient wisdom is pointing to. In all of their stone temples around the world, they point to this. And if you're awakening this mother consciousness, this mother brain within you, you begin to understand what the ancestors left for us in the stone. And you realize that it's all about you and your consciousness and your remembering this and reclaiming it. That's it, period. It's as simple as that. Then you reorient to your world, to your environment. But the full right side up, inside out needs to occur before you can understand anything. The pieces of data out there will never come together and say, here's what it's all about. Now you understand. No, it will never happen that way. And if you keep seeking it out there, that's precisely what the managers of the machine want you to do. And you're falling into that so easily now. Don't you know that all these people out there that are the characters in the theater, the ones that want you to vote for them and the ones that want you to follow all the rules, whether that is benevolent for you or not, there are no sides. Right now, it is between you and your maker, your creator within, that wants to awaken within you and show you who you are and what you were designed to be. Or it's the machine that wants to give you a new version of human. Those are the choices. It isn't red and blue. It isn't Republican and Democrat. It isn't climate change versus no climate change. Everything boils down to your individual choice now of how you want to move forward. Are you going to remember your own inner technology and activate it, engage with it? Or are you going to feel and be disempowered for another long cycle of captivity? I'm not saying there aren't good and loving, inspiring people out there. They're everywhere. They're demonstrating it. But for the most part, you're making fun of them, or you avoid them because they're different, and you don't want to appear different. Well, guess what? You're going to have to appear different if you want to remember who you are and what is within you. You're going to have to be courageous and bold and break through those fears within yourself. Because your actual source creator, who resides in the field and is the field, and you are that field. If you are not awakening to this and feeling this and remembering love, because that's what this whole field is made of, if you're not engaging with that, then you're giving your power away to that which very, very much wants you to join, to agree with, to re-sign a contract to stay and be a guinea pig for the next blueprint for humanity. You already have a cosmic blueprint within yourself that you're not using. Now, I haven't been very popular with what I share, and that's okay. The guidance from the field just continues to tell me, keep sharing, keep talking about this. And new data comes in every day, all day long, and helps me to see and understand what's happening here. I'm not the only one. I'm not saying I'm the only one. But I want you to know that there are a lot of people out there whose intent is to find people like me sharing these things, and then capturing that and recreating it and rebranding it to sell to you. Now, in this time, we are all still using money, so I'm not saying that people can't, request donations and ask for support for all that they share. But it needs to just be, what you need to keep being who you are and to keep healthy and to keep sharing the data and the wisdom that comes through once you start accessing it, to share with humanity, to share with your communities. There is no need to collect currency in the old forms from the old sun. Your currency is within you. That is currency. That is the divine currency, which we have in the past been programmed to accept is the currency, is the value. And so we agreed, oh, okay, so we have to work and earn this currency. You don't have to work and earn currency. You are currency. And that's the trick. That's how they keep you looping. It isn't important who they are. You can feel them. Once you start accessing in this way, you can feel that force that is not very happy right now about people awakening to their own inner technologies. And so they send out their minions to find out what it is humans are talking about. How are they opening up and rediscovering themselves? And they repackage it or they attack it. And that's why you need to know what is true within yourself. You need to have this mother brain active again. You need to have your instincts in place. And what blocks the mother? All of that which we denied and ignored, that didn't make sense. And it has to do with soul. It has to do with love. Not the love that we were told was love, like Happy Valentine's Day. Divine love that lives at the core of your being. It lives in every cell of your body. And it can awaken now and show you who you are and how powerful you are. Do you know you are so much more powerful than those who have captured you? But I want you to know that there's so many tricks here. There's so much psyops going on. I want you to know that there isn't any big leader here on the planet. So many of you think you've got this big leader that's saving you and rescuing you. Nobody can do this for you now. They're just there as actors. They all work for the same theater company. They are actors. It's like those, fake wrestling shows where they plan out how the fight's going to go and who's going to win each time. Don't you see? It's you that has to face the fear of going within and meeting your maker. If we do this meeting of our maker consciously and willingly, we might just fully wake up and remember, because that is the path beyond this machine. Inside you. I don't care if it sounds vague to you. I don't care if you call it woo. I don't care what you call it or how you judge it. You will find out very soon when you meet your maker. In these times now, these tumultuous times where those who are connected to the maker within, creator, to the field, will know what they need to know when they need to know it. And they will move with this divine grid, the natural one, transcend the false grid, the limiting one, and we will be restored, wholly restored, with the Mother active within our consciousness again, active within our brain again. And that's when we can practice wholeness. And we can rediscover our greater gifts within. Many of you I know are starting to discover this. These gifts that you have within you. You always kind of sort of knew it was there, but it didn't fit with the program here, so you buried it. Well, guess what? You buried pain and you buried your gifts. It's all there, and the Mother's been holding on to it for you. It's time to meet your Maker. Embrace it. Do it willingly and consciously. And you're going to discover who you really are and what is within you and available to you. Don't listen to the noise and the chatter out there. It's just designed to make you afraid. It's designed to make you hate. That's not who you are. That's just a little sliver of who you are that has been hijacked and taken and used as a resource in this system. You've identified with just a little tiny piece of yourself. That's not who you are. Get busy going within. You don't have to know how to do it. You just need to show up and say, I'm here, I choose love, and I am willing to remember and restore wholly who I am. I want to meet my Maker consciously. If you keep doing that, I promise you, you will be led, guided, informed, healed, transformed. And you must passionately want it. And I can talk about this more at another time. But that's the basics. You need to know who you are. And in these choosing times, we're all sitting on this threshold. In these choosing times, I simply keep saying it to as many people that are interested in hearing it. But it isn't just another piece of data for you. I am a human being who had a life of visitations from others who were preparing me, helping me to move through the fear of who and what they were. And when I overcame that fear, I discovered that they've been pointing to that which is within me the whole time. It's almost like they're saying, I'm sorry that you're terrified. I'm so sorry, but we need to get through this. Really sorry, because you're going to discover something after all of this. And then you're going to have that reigniting of the light within you, in your body, in your form. The Mother will awaken within you. And you're going to see and know so much more. And this is what we wanted to help you with. And we want you to tell everybody you know what is within them. And so that's what I've been doing. And it hasn't always fit into the existing mold, the existing frames. And so the mother says, now you know how I feel. But she's here. She's awakening within many humans. They're restoring their divine connection. They are remembering who they are. They are lifting the mother back into her rightful place in our consciousness. And I have no words for what that feels like. The levels of love that you will feel in your form. The bliss, the ecstasy of connection. Of knowing that this is who you've been all along. There's no resentment. There's no anger and rage at that point. It's just, wow. I'm excited to be on with life from this new foundation, this new sun, this new environment. I'm not interested in what happens when you're not using your whole technology, your whole consciousness. I just came out of that. Why would I want to continue to have an interest in that? It's time to live fully now and engage with a gift of life that you were given as a completely sovereign being, awakened, powerful, beautiful, radiant, unlimited. And I'm overjoyed to sit here in front of this equipment that I have, to speak to you, to share these things with you. I'm still here, and I'm still sharing after all these years. And they've shown me that at a certain point, whether I'm here or not, physically, at a certain point it will become relevant. And wherever I am, my point of reference in all that is, whether it's in a body or not, I will be celebrating with you. Thanks for listening.
What are you waiting for? Your hand is on the door, and there's no one left to blame. There's no need for shame. Just the beauty of you remains to be seen, to be heard in time. So turn on your light, you gotta